thought it was probably one of the better first scrimmages, from my perspective, which sometimes is a little different from an assistant because they're looking at a certain segment. But from my perspective, it's one of the better first scrimmages that we've had. And today was kind of, find out who knows what they're doing, find out who knows a little bit about what they're doing, and find out who knows nothing about what they're doing, and then get a plan for those guys the next, 5 practices before the spring game. But I was actually very encouraged by our defense. Really, I don't know, my expectation was I thought they might be a little behind maybe today going into it, but they really did a good job and held their own, very competitive. The guys that I expect to be, winners and playmakers for us today were, 23, 2, 6, those guys all stood out. Taj did some good things. Was just really very encouraged with our first group of defense in particular. Chandler Catanzaro has been just outstanding. I don't even want to jinx you. I don't want to jinx him, so I'm not going to tell you what his percentage on field goals is right now to this point. I'll just say it's really, really good, and he was excellent today. Spencer Benton and Pinion both punted the ball well. Still had some critical errors in the red zone situation offensively. Put the ball on the ground. We had a little snap issue. Flip side of that is defensively in the red zone, you want to create a turnover. They did that. You want to keep them out of the end zone. They did that. A lot of good work, a lot of good on both sides. A lot of things to work on both sides. We worked a good bit of short yardage, and it was win or lose, up downs if you lose, and then we had a good little goal line session to finish the day. But a very fast-paced scrimmage. Probably around 100 plays with all of our situational stuff, and I thought the tempo was pretty good. Really stressed a few of those young guys today. A guy like Dodd didn't handle it very well. He's a guy we got to continue. He's going to help us, but we got to grow him up. We got to toughen him up. Got to get him mentally better. And Malachi couldn't practice today because he had a test. So it was a good opportunity to work some of those other guys. We started Vic Beasley and Crawford. Both those guys did some really good things, and then we went with Dodd and Byers with the second group, and just they got Dodd in particular got a little taxed. Just got to continue to grow some of those guys up. But again, overall a good scrimmage. I made the quarterbacks live outside of Taj because we've created a pretty good competitive situation. Right now, I don't have anybody pushing Taj other than the coaches, but we've got a really competitive situation behind Taj. Morgan Roberts has really made a move. He's really come on. Probably has improved as much as anybody on this team. Very, very competitive young man that has had a very good spring. Cole has been pretty average. I've been a little disappointed in him to this point. And then today he comes out and has his best day, I thought, of the spring. Had an interception early, but he looked like the Cole Stout that I expect to see today. I mean, he really competed, and Tony did some good things. So that was good to see. But we made those guys live, just to continue to further that competition to see if we could separate them a little bit more. So I think from that standpoint, it was good to see Cole get back on track today. Hopefully he'll continue that and finish spring strong. So again, a lot of good things, but for a first scrimmage, I was pretty impressed. We'll go again next Monday, and then obviously the spring game. So with that, I'll take questions.
It sounded like the linebackers were the leading tacklers. Are you pleased with that?
Oh yeah. I thought they did a really good job with their drops. They did a really good job with their eyes. We got our hands on some balls. Stephon was excellent. Tig Willard had a great day from my perspective. Obviously you can watch the film because you don't see everything until you see the film, but he looked like he had a really good scrimmage. They had the first group in particular. We got 4 or 5 guys that look like they're grasping the concept of what we're doing very well. B.J. Goodson made a heck of an interception today, and Lateef Townsend continues to make great strides. He's going to help us big time. He is a football player and is a guy that has really shot his stock up in the last 2 or 3 practices. So, and our guys inside, I want to hold judgment till I see the tape, but I thought Tavares Barnes and Deshaun and Josh and Grady, I think all 4 of those guys are really trying to get better as players, and they're trying to do things the right way. So I'm pretty encouraged with that group. So when we get there, we'll have a couple other guys I think will have a chance to get in the mix when they get here in July. A couple of incoming freshmen, just in our D-line as a whole. But we're making progress.
Dalton mentioned that he wasn't real happy with the short yardage situation. What are you guys trying to do to improve and make progress on that?
Well, you got to give yourself a chance. First of all, I mean, we got a snap problem. We had a missed assignment. A guy completely goes the wrong way. Young player, but just goes the wrong way. It's not real hard when you don't block anybody. So just critical mistakes in critical situations. That's where the discipline has got to kick in. And so, we'll continue to work and do the things that we got to do. Now, we did a lot of good things too. Second group did a really good job in executing the play. The first group was inconsistent. They had some. Ellington was really good, ran hard. But I thought Bellamy had a really good day on the goal line. He really showed him that he's not typically what you would think of as a goal line runner, but he really ran hard, ran with some toughness, and got in the end zone. We had 4 straight plays with his group. So, so there were some critical mistakes in that situation. So we just got to continue to work it, continue to stress the sense of urgency in those situations.
Who are some younger guys who are maybe ahead of where you thought they'd be at this point?
Blanks. I mean, he's just a really, really talented player that just gets it. Very smart, and he's a guy that it's hard to just think that a true freshman is going to walk in and be repping a lot with the ones in our nickel situations, but he's done a great job of that. Jake Guillermo, Stefano, those guys, again, they're just now getting here, but very impressed with their mentality, their will to be a good football player. And then I think that over on the defensive line, and Dodd didn't have a great day today, but overall, I didn't think he would be he's got a long way to go, but I thought he would be a little further away than what I've seen. I really think he's got a chance to help us if we can pull him through the knothole between now and August. So, those are some of the guys I've been encouraged with. Pinion punted the ball really well today. First punt, he launched it. So, first time you go in the stadium, you're always anxious to see how certain guys respond. And I thought he stepped up well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys.